Within your area forecast region, are there areas of IFR, mountain obscuration, being reported? Again, I realize this is asking the same thing, but I catch people on this stuff where they'll regurgitate some information, but then it won't connect. Oh, where I'm at, no, there's nothing there. Or, oh, that's what I read from that AirMet. That's what it was talking about. So, again, this is real easy. What's the general location? Give me the general location. And does the depiction chart, okay, when you look at the weather depiction back on your standard brief page, what does the weather depiction look like? Does it match? And for the most part, it does here. For IFR and mountain obscuration, there are some areas, though, that it's quite a bit clearer than what they indicated. So talk to me about that. And are there pilot reports in these locations confirming instrument conditions? What about airborne? Are pilots confirming these conditions? I want you to be able to talk about the variety of these. What about the METARs? Do they confirm the conditions? Do the TAFs call for these conditions? In these areas, you can go onto the Java tools, and we can get right into our TAFs on the ad site, and we can look at some of these areas. Well, what do they say? What do these areas call for? If we go to Rochester, and I'll have to click on this probably to bring it up, if it's going to cooperate. But if we look at this TAF, it's pretty extensive, but basically you're looking at ceiling 1500 or less for the next 24 hours. And the visibility is not too bad until you get into the overnight hours. Looks like you're generating some fog. But this is a confirmation. I realize this weather tracking activity, there's a lot of questions, okay? This last question kind of sums it up. Look at the current area forecast for your location. Look at what they're calling for just in a broad synopsis of conditions. So when you pull up your area forecast, we'll look at the Boston one actually. What does this say, and how does it match all the charts you've looked at? Okay. Are there inconsistencies? Why? Are there things that you would do to address these inconsistencies? That's all the questions. Now, in about an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and a half, we've covered this information. But I've explained some things. I think within probably the third, fourth day, within 40 minutes to an hour, you can answer these questions. I want to first tell you how important I think this activity is. I don't know of any way to learn weather without throwing you into it. It just doesn't work to do it from a lab standpoint, and in some ways this is. But you ask most pilots that came from the general aviation side when they really learned about weather, when they really learned to read forecasts, either as flight instructors when it was on the line, or particularly in many cases when they went to the airlines and they started watching the captain, they started seeing the weather reports generated. Or you talk to flight operations personnel such as dispatchers, decision makers that are having to piece this information together. So that's that attempt. I apologize that I don't have a better method of you proving this, okay? But know that I'm cognizant of that. I'm still a student. I'm always learning this stuff. I just recently got done with MBA classes, so I'm not far removed from where you're sitting. But it is useful, and I think this is important. And until I can come up with a better method, and perhaps that will happen soon, but this should show you some of the things that you should be concerned with, and show you how to gather information. I don't brief before a flight exactly in this order. My pre-flight brief, depending on the capability of the airplane and who I'm flying with, and I guess the distance and those kinds of things. There's all kinds of variables. Can be anywhere from 5 minutes if the weather's good to 30 minutes to an hour, literally. If the airplane is not that capable, I have a student and I'm flying through some weather. So practice this stuff. Think of how you can use these charts to supplement what the person on the other end of the telephone is giving you. If you have questions, please email me. I'm there to assist. And otherwise, good luck with the project. I hope this helps. I do apologize that I'm not the greatest at talking over this format. I'm a little nervous trying to get this information across. Sometimes I talk too fast, replay it. But I hope this is a tool. This is my first attempt to try to move beyond just turning you loose. So hopefully it proves helpful. Give me some feedback, and thanks for taking the course. We really appreciate you being part of the UVU program. Take care.